What is up, Wolfpack? Today we're going to be walking you through how you'll be able to sharpen any knife within 90 seconds. Stick around to the end of the video because we're going to also walk you through how you'll be able to win one of these brand new SE4s, the perfect survival knife. It is the perfect combination of fine bushcrafting with that awesome finger choil, as well as more hardy tasks with that 1/4 inch 1095 steel. So stick around to the end of the video so you'll be able to win one of these and actually know how to sharpen it. So as you can take a look at this table, we've got a couple different sharpening options. And if you're like myself, this has probably been a pain point for you for years. If you're like myself, you probably started with one of these super cheap Kitchen IQ. I mean, these are made by 100 different cheap Chinese companies. And basically what they are is it's two different, I guess like carbide tips. And you're supposed to go in through them and drag this. You just keep this planted to the edge of the table and you work through this. And if you're like me, anytime you've used this, it just never creates a good edge. You're constantly wondering, is this what a sharp knife is supposed to feel like? I mean, it feels like you're just mashing through tomatoes. And to be honest, this ended up just getting tossed in the kitchen counter and really never to be used again. And I felt like I was just destined to be using, to be honest, I didn't know any better. I thought that this is how what a sharp knife is supposed to be like. And I thought that this is what the pinnacle would look like. But something like, inkling in the back of my head was like, there's got to be something better. There's got to be something better. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's if we're going to do this, let's do this right. And so I ended up springing for not just the Work Sharp, I don't know what you call this system, the Work Sharp, just bench system. I'll figure that out. But I even sprung for the Ken Onion edition. And I'm like, you know what? This is it. Now I'm going to have sharp knives forever. And lo and behold, the system arrived. It's got all these different bands and all these different, just knobs, and it's got to be plugged in. And if my garage has one awkward plug hidden behind, all these power tools, and it was just, I had to pull out my extension cable, and I had all of these different things, and it was just like a giant, it was honestly a mess. And I used it once, and ever since then it's been collecting dust. And while it's a great system, no doubt, it was just so much work that I'm like, is the juice really worth the squeeze? And so, I waited a few years, continued to deal with my tomato mashing knife, my unsafe knives, and eventually ended up seeing a random YouTube video about this guided Work Sharp system. And to be honest, this system is actually really, really phenomenal. I really enjoyed this. What it does, it creates these guides, and it allows you to really learn the skills. And that's the key here, is I didn't realize how much skill was involved with sharpening knives. You really have to develop muscle memory to really get the angle right and really develop a burr. And the thing is phenomenal. So what I liked about this system is that, number one, you can see here, it has this sort of rocking mechanism. You can lock that in. So this is it goes in and out and it locks in. So for certain knives where you don't want this to rock, and really where you want this to rock are knives with a belly or with a swell. And so if you take a look at this is a knife where you would want a swell. And so as you're dragging the knife across to get the tip, this thing, if you can see here, it's rocking and it'll get the tip. And with most knife sharpeners, because it doesn't rock, you end up getting a really sharp belly, but the tip ends up being dull. And so they actually created a really ingenious rocking system. So as you're coming across and creating your burr, it'll do so all the way to the edge. And this is actually a really phenomenal system, and it's really where I learned how to sharpen my knives. What I liked about this is that it comes with essentially 3 different, what we call the different blades. And really the course is where the heavy lifting gets done. A lot of people, they see like these ultra fine, and the ultra fine is really to get that mirror polish, but you can't put lipstick on a pig. Okay, the course is really what creates the burr and really what creates the actual sharpening of the knife. It's what removes the material the most and really allows, if you just jump right into the fine and the ultra fine, it's not gonna do anything. It's basically if you were running your knife across a leather strap, nothing's going to happen until you've created that fine actual sharpening component. And so the course is really all you need. If you really just wanted to get something that could, you know, be way sharper than what you have, you've got this. You've also got these like more ceramic rods, and they even have a fish hook on this. I mean, the thing is really a phenomenal system, and it even creates guides for you. You can go from 20 inches for most knives to 17 inches for finer work knives. Like, let's say you had a kitchen knife that was going to do sushi, and you wanted something that was a little sharper. Let me break this down for you. The difference between 17% and 20% is imperceptible. Okay? I mean, unless you are a world-class chef, you really can't tell the difference. The way you really think about it, this is a 90-degree angle. Half of that is 45. Half of that is going to be your angle. That's it. You know, the difference between 3 degrees is going to be imperceptible. You're not going to tell the difference. And so really, that's all you really need to worry about. 90 degrees, 45, go half of that. And that's really where, and to be honest, I was shocked at that actually the steeper the angle, it felt like the sharper the knife got. And which is a little counterintuitive, because you think like, oh, if I go like this, it's going to definitely be way sharper. But it actually wasn't. It doesn't shave off enough material. And so actually with a slightly sharper angle, there's almost like a dual bevel to most knives. You've got the flat edge, and then you've got the bevel. And so by you going like this, you're essentially just sharpening flatness. By you angling it up a little bit more, you're actually being able to catch the actual blade component of the knife. And so while this system is great, the course, to be honest, for most of my knives, because they were so neglected, just wasn't enough to really take off enough material. And I felt like I was in the garage for what felt like an hour just trying to catch a burr. And so it's like you start with this system, which is $50, and you get so frustrated, you're like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go for the upgraded accessory system. And the upgraded accessory system is great. Let me tell you. I mean, it really comes with a lot of fun goodies. What it comes with inside is it comes with what I feel is the most critical of the plates, which is the extra course. It's the 220 grit, and this is really what created the majority of sharpness in a lot of my blades is the extra course. And so this, I actually feel like this is a requirement of the system. But if you were to put all that together, that's $80. This is $30, this is $50, and to be honest, I feel like that's a little steep for most people. You know, this is over $100. This is $80. I mean, this is expensive. I mean, let's be real. Like, most people can't afford this, so you know, I actually found myself, like, you know, feeling a little gypped, to be honest, by the system. I'm like, I needed to upgrade so much more, and even with that, it doesn't even come with a carrying case. So now I got to pay another $20 for the carrying case, and to be honest, it feels like I'm getting sort of strung along, and. You know, I mean, even with that, you know, there's a lot of just things I have to take the plates off. I have to put the plates back on. I'm sitting there. I'm going through all of these things, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? There's got to be something better. And sure enough, the other day, I found myself going, you know what? Let's just pick this thing up. This is the Work Sharp Field Sharpener. Now, let me tell you something. This thing is the thing I should have bought from the get-go. It already comes with the ultra coarse grit on the top. It's got the ultra fine on the back. You've already got a leather strap with a lot of that diamond plating already on there. This thing, within 90 seconds, was able to get a way sharper edge than this entire system. For around 20 bucks, this thing is really all you need. Which is why within 90 seconds, this thing, I mean, number one, you can fit in your bug out bag, it can fit in your camping bag. You probably wouldn't need it for most scenarios, but I mean, it's so ultra lightweight. It's a fully compact system. You're not sitting there changing plates. You're not having to worry. It's a fully integrated system. It's got everything you need. You can see here, it even does fish hooks, and so you could be sharpening fish hooks. You could be doing your leather stropping. You could be getting your course, and so it even has the guides on the edge, and so if you really wanted to, you can get that going. And so all you needed to do, if you wanted to, is sit this down, and I like to go backwards because that makes it a lot easier to create a burr. And what a burr is, imagine if you were to just sharpen one side of the knife, what would happen is the blade would start to curl over. And so because you're removing so much material on the flat side, the other side would start to just curl over as you're pulling away. And that curl creates sort of like a lip on the other edge that you can catch with your fingertips. And once you feel that little burr on that part of the edge, and you want to make sure that it's there from the heel to the tip, that you've got a nice even burr across the entire blade. And it's easy to do so with such a large, I mean, this is really all you need. Even with a large kitchen knife like this one, as you're cutting across, you can create a burr across the entire edge. Once you've created that burr, all you got to do is reverse edge, and you want to put a good amount of pressure here. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, is the technique. And you do the same thing on the other side, which essentially, number one, removes the burr and creates that nice fine edge. And that's right there, you're ready to go. Right there, you've got a hair-popping sharp knife. Well, maybe not hair-popping, but definitely it's enough to really cut paper without pushing through it. And once you've done that, then you want to start to reverse on both sides and really start to refine the blade and refine the edge over and over and over again. And then from there, that's when you rotate. That's when you get to the fine edge work. And then you're going to do the exact same thing. Continue to refine, and you're constantly checking against the paper. And then and only then, when you're able to really like glide through even newspaper like butter, that's when you put the final edge with the leather strop. And what this will do is it'll remove those imperceptible little blemishes in your sharpening technique. And that's really when you're going to be able to get a blade hair-popping sharp. And so, to reiterate, if you were only to get one system, this $20 system is enough for you to, number one, develop your sharpening technique. Number two, it replaces everything else here. Number three, it's the most portable and the most user-friendly. You're not sitting there trying to change out all these different systems or having to go and find a plug underneath 60 cobwebs in your garage. I mean, this alone is really everything you need. And within 90 seconds, you can get a blade hair-popping sharp. And I mean, the thing is, I didn't realize what I was missing when I was working with a sharp knife. I had been working with dull knives for so long that I didn't even realize it. And like, think back to like any other game-changing moment in your life. Like the first time you used high-speed internet, or the first time you had a grass-fed, medium-rare steak. To go back felt like, you're becoming a caveman. Like to go back to dial-up internet today, you'd be like, this is ridiculous. To eat a well-done, chewy steak, you can't live like this. And that's how I feel now when I'm working with a dull knife, is like, I can't work like this. If it's not hair-popping sharp, I'm immediately whipping this thing out, 90 seconds, and I've got a hair-popping edge, and I'm able to take care of my blades. And now I'm finding myself doing it with all of my blades. I mean, this is the Kershaw Cinder, probably my favorite EDC blade. Sometimes it's hard for me to justify carrying a larger blade when this does everything you need. It can cut open a box, it can pop open a bottle, pop open, a Topo Chico. This is really all you need. It attaches to your keychain for $5. Everyone should own one of these. All the way up to your K-bars, your SE. Stick around. We're going to be giving this away soon. I mean, this thing is phenomenal. And having said that, I loved that the guided sharpening system, also the Ken Onion edition, came with this like chart. What I like about the chart is it makes it easy for you to learn. So to be honest, maybe I wouldn't have known the right technique had I not started with this. This does give you a pretty comprehensive kit. And so you can create a flow chart where like, okay, do you have a kitchen knife or is it an outdoor knife? If it's a kitchen knife, is it straight or is it curved? Depending on that, it'll help you determine whether or not to go through pivot resistance. And then it'll actually even tell you the recipe with the upgrade kit or without the upgrade kit, depending on if it's the first sharpening or a resharpening. So, this is helpful. But you know what? Hey, screenshot this. Boom, you're good to go, okay? Get this. This is really all you need. I'm sure you can find that online. You could probably watch a couple YouTube videos and develop your own technique. You start with this, $20. It's all you need, and you'll have hair-popping sharp knives, and you'll be able to take this camping and you'll be ready to go. No need to drop $80 on the guided system until you really feel like, okay, you know what? I enjoy sharpening knives, and I want to take up to the next level. And to be honest, this is essentially a semi-pro kit. And unless you've got, the outdoor, unless you're a Wrangler star and you've got a dedicated outdoor shed, you know, not all of us can be so lucky where you can have this plugged in, ready to go. This is probably just going to collect dust. And so for most people, you know, the everyday man, this is really all you need. And so I think this is phenomenal. I love it. You know, don't ever buy this. Get this shit out of here. We're throwing that away. So this is what you need. Okay, so let's give this thing away. So we thank you so much to the entire community. We have been able to grow so fast because all of you have been, you know, just really supporting the channel. And I want to thank you guys so much. And I'm trying to do everything I can to continue to support the community. And that includes keeping these SE4 giveaways going. And so, you know, we just hit 2,000 subscribers. Once we hit 4,000 subscribers, which, you know, it could be days, could be weeks, we'll be giving out another SE4. We've already given out 5 of them, one to Dan, one to Jeff, one to Travis, one to Toby. We're about to give away the 2,000 subscriber giveaway one shortly. And so, you know, in order to enter, all you need to do is subscribe and leave a comment. That's it. If you do those 2 things, subscribe and leave a comment, you are instantly entered into the giveaway. Whether it's on this video or any of my previous videos, you'll be instantly entered for the 4,000 subscriber giveaway. We'll be sending one of these brand new puppies. I mean, this is the knife you can take to the end of the world. It's a phenomenal knife. I love this thing, and we'll be giving one of these away. If we've already passed 4,000 subscribers, number one, thank you so much to everyone for supporting. Check out the most recent videos because we may still be giving these away. And then 2 other things, if you want to continue to support, give me a thumbs up if this video is helpful. And then number 2, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the announcement. So, you know, quick recap. Don't worry about all this expensive stuff. Just get this. It's a little over 20 bucks. It's all you need. Hope this was helpful. Thanks, everyone. Look forward to the next one. Stay safe. Cheers.